Hello, another unboxing. This time it's for the ASUS ROG Crosshair 5, 6, 7, 8 Dark Hero gaming motherboard. These are a little bit like rocking horse poo at the moment, but nonetheless I've got one right here. What's interesting is that if I run my finger along the stickers, this last sticker, AMD Ryzen 5000X desktop ready, that's an additional sticker, which is kind of interesting. So that's not on the original printed box, they've added that. If I just flip it over and we look at the back of it, it's got all the list of all the features and things. It's a very nice little motherboard. It's the X570 chipset. There are a few very important aspects to this motherboard that make it pretty amazing. So let's get it unboxed and we will have a look. Comes in a very nice little box, to be fair, big solid box. That's a bit of anti-static plastic, which I'm just going to move out of the way. There's the board itself. As is normal with the sort of really high-end motherboards, they don't bother putting it in a anti-static bag, which is a little bit annoying because it's kind of easier to pinch the bag and lift it out. But we'll worry about that in a minute. I'm going to take this out and we'll just move that to one side. There's actually quite a bit of weight to that. And then let's see what else we get inside. That's a coaster, right? So actually something useful now. That's the support DVD. Put that there. There's a user guide. It's quite thin. That is all in English, that one. So everything in there has relevance. Board layout, that kind of stuff. Nothing about the BIOS in there though, I don't think. So they've obviously slimmed the manual down. There are some error codes, which is actually kind of handy, but also worrying. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, hello, what's this? That's a set of stickers. Yeah, there's some cable labels and various other little stickers that all look a bit sad a couple of years after you stick them on. They start, fading and things. Technical updates, which is just saying here's an information update. Manufacturers, so nothing actually really updated there. Safety information. Do not eat. It's probably high on the list. Oh no, not about eating, just about electrical stuff. That's a compliance thing, I expect. There's a motherboard layout and a special notice for Turkey. Quick start guide. Yeah, generally it's yeah, so not sure how useful that is, but nonetheless it's in there. So let's see what we've got underneath here then. There's a big lump of cardboard, so we'll just peel it out and see what we get. So this might be why the box is so big. That's a that's the Wi-Fi aerial, so you get an antennae with it. I don't know how well you can see that. So that's the Wi-Fi antennae. That's a bag, that's the M.2 mounts with little screws and stuff, so you get the M.2s. That is an RGB extension cable. Can't tell which one it is. Oh, well, this is one as well. There's two. So you get the 3-pin one, and that one I think must be the 4-pin one because it supports both the analog and the digital RGB, and there's two sets of headers for both. so they give you a cable for both of those. That's just a little helpful thing, so that when you connect the motherboard services from the case, you plug them into that, and then that just goes onto the motherboard, so you're fiddling around. I've never used those, but I can see why it's a really good idea. So that's that in there as well. And then, ooh, that's some SATA cables. They're both right angled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's actually 4 cables in there. Normally you get 2, don't you? So there's 2 that are standard and 2 that are right angled. And that's the box emptied, so we'll just shut that back up and move that out of the way. And let's look at the motherboard itself now. Now I'm going to get this out, because it's nice to have the bag to grab, like I mentioned earlier. So if I just do that and then do that, it should just drop out, shouldn't it? A bit nervous, obviously. That's got it. Move that out of the way. Anti-static little bit of thing. So on the back of it, there's just a sort of a label. There's no large metal plate like you get on some of the other high-end ASUS ones. Here's the motherboard itself. There's plastic film on all these sort of clever bits here. There's the LEDs there, there's LEDs in there as well. There's a little bit of plastic stuff over the built-in sound. There's very nice sockets that have got metal reinforcement on them. What we're really looking for though is the back, because this is the really amazing bit about this motherboard. Just look at the connectors you get. That's obviously for the Wi-Fi or for the antenna to go in. Then you get a clear CMOS and a BIOS sort of switching button there for when you're fiddling. But look how many sockets there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 sockets. One's dedicated to the BIOS as well. So if you've got a flash drive, you stick the BIOS on, if you plug it in there, it knows where to look to update it and things, or refresh it or replace it or whatever. 2 network ports. 2.5G suggests it's also got both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but those are USB 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 USB 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the super speed 10 gigabits per second USB, but there's also the Type C Gen 2 ones, and that means that you're going to get one of those on there as well. Don't know how well you can see that. There's a USB 3 special connector there, a Gen 2 connectors, and you get the other sort of Gen 1 there as well. And of course you use your USB 2s, they're never going to get rid of those. Here's something very interesting too. So if you can see that, there's a switch for slow mode. Now I haven't seen a switch like that since some MSI boards, some older MSI boards. What slow mode does is, if you are overclocking and generally messing about and the thing just has a bit of a hissy fit and refuses to post and just locks up and everything, if you flick it into slow mode, that sort of forces the BIOS to load the very, very safe bare minimum settings to get a boot to happen. So it removes all the overclocks, all the fiddling, all the tweaking, and just goes with the basic failsafe thing. So when that's on, the machine should boot. And then you've got a chance to then, you know, fiddle with the BIOS, revert it back, disable it, go back in and set it up again. So seeing a slow mode on there, that sort of, that in addition to the fact that you've got actual buttons for start, and you've got retry and safe boot and all these, you've actually got buttons that you can press while it's on a test bench, sort of indicates that this is a bit of a, this is a bit special. There's 2 M.2s, one there and one there, and they both got their own heat sinks on them, and they're Gen 4 as well. And yeah, so very, very exciting. Yeah, any questions about this, then obviously leave them in the comments, and any comments too. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching.